The right HR for your business is probably going to be one of the most important decisions you can make, especially if you are in a small business. If you get this wrong, then you can create a toxic atmosphere, a toxic culture. You can be losing staff hand over fist and find yourself in a world of problems and probably at that point in time, legal issues that are going to cost you a lot of money. So getting this right and getting your legal risks reduced is vitally important. If you haven't met me before, my name is Mike. The company is Cavill, and we help small businesses just like you to ensure that you are getting it right with your staff and getting the people right in your business, increasing your performance and reducing the legal risk within your organization. And in terms of that, that's our core aspect, is helping you to increase the profitability, the performance, the output, and the staffing within your organization to make you a better business and without the risks that are entailed within that. So coming on to this, we have a guide that is going to really help you. So if you've come through to this right now, then you are actually able to download our guide, which is great. There you'll also be able to book a call with us if you wanted to help and support you with further information. If you've got any questions you want to ask, there is no pressure, no fluff, no bullshit. We just give you straight up advice. No pressure for you to come on board and work with us if you don't want to. Obviously, we would love it if you did. But if you don't, then that's fine. Also here, you'll be able to get a free recruitment audit, which is worth its weight in gold. It's a small, quick audit that looks at the journey your potential staff will go through when trying to apply for a job with you. It's going to look at how good that is, where the issues are, and give you some recommendations on how to resolve those. So that will be vitally important. Now, I also want to add to this. So in this guide, we're going to talk through the different options you have as a small business in terms of resolving the HR problem you probably do have in your business. And there's no one size fits all, by the way. So I think there are, personally, you would say, Mike, you would say that because you're an HR consultancy firm, and I will do, absolutely, to the hilt. But there are options. Some have their positives, some have their negatives. And I want to be able to kind of come across with those in a very short order in this video. And then you can read the educational guide for your own interest that goes through it in a lot more depth and detail. But I want to also tag along our HR bias guide, which realistically goes hand in glove with what you're going to read in the guide as well. So it's going to help you to make better, more informed decisions as to what are the best options for your business. And quite up and honest, it's not always getting a full-on outsource support like me. Sometimes it's a lighter HR support like me. Sometimes it's getting someone personally inside your business. Sometimes it's something else. So let's have a quick look through what some of those options are. So realistically, you've got an operational HR, which is a basic level, is what I would call that. And that gives you things like contracts, handbooks, policies. I would say this is probably, and you'll experience this, is a done with you service, which means there's an element on you to have to do some of that work. Now, my biggest bugbear with this isn't the package, isn't the service, it's the way it's sold by some providers. So I'm not going to name any names, but quite often it's sold that it's going to reduce your time spent on employee-related issues, and it's going to give you that time back in your business. The reality is it doesn't. It adds processes to your business. Even with our lower level service, I would say it is going to add more processes to your business. So it does. It's there. It supports you. It has a service because it's the lower entry point. So it ends up being the cheapest option in terms of solving your solution. So if you are, in terms of cash poor, but time rich, this is not a bad option for you because it's going to help you to resolve that problem, remain legally compliant, and have a smooth business. It's going to help you in terms of reducing things like absence and holiday management. It's going to help you when it comes to things like disciplinaries and grievances, health and safety processes. It's going to do all those things it says on the tin, but there is an element on you to have to apply it. So here's an example. If you have an employee who has a high level of sickness absence and you want to go through a process of managing that, then of course you've got someone you can speak to who's going to give you some advice. In other companies, this isn't for us, but for other companies, it'll probably be a call center approach. So you're never going to talk to the same person every single time. It's going to be a litany of different people, and you might get different bits of advice. Very unhelpful. With us, it's one person. So there is only one person you're going to talk to. It's not going to be a litany of others, because the relationship for us is key in that process, regardless of what package you're on. Now, once you go through that, when it comes to writing and drafting that letter to somebody to invite them to it, the done with you part is it'll be a template. You have to spend the time writing the template, and you then have to go through that meeting with that person. And you're not always going to have the hands-on support to guide you through all those next steps. But here's the catch with these. And I would implore all of you to be careful. And that is, if you get your employer's life tribunal insurance, through these particular forums, then you are going to be giving away certain rights and decisions to this third-party organization, whoever it is you're going to go for. Because whilst they will throw these things to you, if it's not done perfectly, even if they've told you to do it that way, and it still causes problems with the review as to whether you've got more than a 50% likelihood of being successful in any claims, then potentially you're not going to have that insurance there to cover you. If you choose that you want to go a different way because that's what you need in your business, and to be quite frank with you, it's your business. All of these services are advisory. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face and disagree with you as to what you should do. Ultimately, it's your risk. It's your business. I'm not going to run your business for you, and I don't want any control in your business whatsoever. I want to help you, not to take control. But these elements do. So be careful of that. And I would say just go in that with your eyes wide open. Inherently enough, with us, we have our HR helpline, which is our operational HR kind of level. And with that, we don't do that process. You do have one person to work through. But again, like I said, I'll be honest with you, it does add time and processes. If you're time rich, cash poor, it's a better option. If it's something you're needing as you're just starting out, it's a good solution, but you can always level up afterwards if you wanted to. But it does have a service, it does have a process, but being missold something's going to take time off your shoulders, it's just quite honestly not true. But these things do have a place. The next one is what I would say is your middle level, which is more tactical HR. So it's going to help you with things like recruitment, onboarding, employee relations. What you tend to find as well, by the way, again, some other organizations will sell this to you on a package where you pay X amount per month. You pay that retainer, say, for example, £400 a month. You pay a £400 a month retainer, but you're not going to hear from them. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to move the dial in your business in any way, shape, or form. But when you do get a problem, such as, for example, a grievance, they'll come, they'll investigate the grievance, they'll do that for you, which is great, and they'll give you that support. But because that's time intensive, you'll find in that particular month, say, for example, they charge you on a consultancy rate of £100 an hour, £400 a month, that's 4 hours. As soon as they go over that, which, by the way, with things like that, it's very easy to go over that, all of a sudden you find yourself with a bill that's £3,000-4,000. So it's quite a lot more than what you were actually expecting at the very beginning. It's 10x what you were looking to pay. And you think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, I've paid all this money for months beforehand and not had anything through. Now I've got this really big cost that comes out. And that's not a great way to work. So be careful of that. For us, we have our productivity booster that fits into this ground. So one of the unique things that we do within this is we actually provide something that's going to help drive performance in your business and help to increase your profitability or patient care or the products that you're providing. We look to increase the output performance of your organization through your people. And when we do that, we know we're going to get out the nasties. So for that process, what we tend to do is give our HR away for free. So in our middle ground, all of our HR, which is a done for you HR, not a done with you, done for you. So it genuinely takes that time off your pressure off your shoulders, but it also helps you to get a better workforce. So you've got a better workforce, higher performance, more productivity, output, and patient care, whatever the case is that you're looking after. And you've got free HR and support for you that's going to help you with investigations, recruitment, onboarding, all these different bits and pieces going to be done with you. And equally, if you have read or listened to one of our podcasts recently, it was all around HR information systems and how key they are for you to take time off your shoulders. We give that within that package as well. So you get access to Breathe HR, which is who we partner with, and that comes on board with that as well. But generally, it should be helping you with training, performance, employee relations case, which could be disciplinaries, grievances, redundancies, those sorts of things will come into that area. The next level is really your top level, which is strategic HR. So the top tier is going to look at more like your organizational design, workforce planning, leadership development. Again, some of this we actually have in the lower tier through the productivity booster. It's going to look at culture and engagement strategies. Now, interestingly for us, one of the things we do with this is we actually give on-site support presence once a month. And we're looking very much at that leadership development, very much the strategic element within this to help you to grow and to actually make better decisions and evaluate what those decisions are you're making and creating better leaders. So it helps you to just pretty much put rocket fuel on the productivity booster. It's that plus is what you would get through that process. And again, what you tend to find, just out of complete honesty, is this is obviously going to be the most expensive route. It's not going to be for everybody. So I think if you're really, really time poor and you really have lots of problems that you need hands-on support and you need someone there to help deal with that, this is really going to be a strong place for you to be, because it's going to give that best of both worlds. You're not paying out the overheads of employing somebody and potentially getting somebody that's probably not going to be right for your business. And given the amount of people you employ, probably won't be the right way to go for your business. And I'll come on to that in a second. But you're probably going to get someone who's going to be cheaper than the overheads of employing someone and more experienced and better and give you more out from that process. So you're getting more bang for your buck, which I love. That's exactly what I want. Value for money. And that's what we want to be able to provide. So for you, those are the three tiers of the options. And again, for us, those are pretty much our three tiers. So the top tier is our partnership model where we partner with your business. And it becomes, so I would say the middle tier is more your HR manager. The top tier is more your business partner. And that's what that's looking to provide. Now, obviously, you've got other options past those. One is to, which quite often happens, is to train an existing member of the team. For me, I can see from experience, this tends to be the CEO, the owner, or founder. It tends to be the financial director or manager. It tends to be the ops manager or director that tends to get these elements come onto them. You're doing this, we'll just add the HR element to you. And then quite quickly, they tend to find that one person swallows all their time. And whilst there isn't enough there to quantify employing somebody, it's actually taking up someone's entire job role and means they can't focus on the things they're actually meant to be doing, such as running the business, checking the finance, checking your operations and your organization. So you tend to find it's the lowest upfront cost because training someone internally is just a training cost, but that person lacks experience, they'll miss risks, they will make mistakes. And whilst it's your cheapest, lowest denominator way of going, it still requires a lot of investment and training and is probably not suitable for anything past basic admin on the HR side. Your other option is to hire an internal HR manager. That's a dedicated person that's going to be on site. It comes with a high salary, recruitment costs and benefits you're going to have, so the overheads go up higher. It probably isn't cost effective for an SME. So for me, I would say to an average HR manager, this goes based on industry, it goes based on geography, it's going to be somewhere between 45 to 60,000 pounds per year, plus your on costs, which is employers national insurance, pensions, and any other benefits you provide. Now, the biggest problem I have with this, and this is me, by the way, this isn't anything that's written out in any text and guidance anywhere, is I don't think you have any requirement. There is zero need to hire anyone internally to your business until you're reaching at least 200 to 250 staff, because you quite frankly will not have enough to quantify the requirement for someone internally to that level. And indeed, if you did, it would impact on their continued professional development, their CPD, because you're going to probably downskill them because you won't have enough to keep their skills high enough in terms of their development as a practitioner. And what that means is you're going to find it hard to attract the people you probably want in your business, and you're going to get the ones that probably aren't suitable to do the job because they're the only ones that will be interested to take the job. Not trying to put people down there, but that's the fact. The other way to go is to use a large HR provider. So again, like I said, that tends to be the lower spectrum. So that operational HR is where they tend to fall into on that. And if you go that particular route, that's great. That's okay. It tends to be, little cost in that because it's the lowest cost route to come in. Packages start from £200 per month. Interestingly enough, our HR helpline starts from £97, just saying. But it comes with a fixed fee. It's a 24/7 package and support. normally, but it tends to be a call center. Again, the HR helpline isn't, it's one person, but it tends to feel like it's a call center. There's little personalization, there's no strategic input, it's not proactive. If nothing's happening, nothing's going to, they're not going to get, you're not going to hear from them. So they end up being a quasi insurance policy, which you never asked for. And you give away a lot of authority to those individuals to be able to make decisions of what's happening in your business. And I don't think that's right, personally, for me. So those are one of the other things that happen. And then you can also get the independent HR consultant as well. So just to put this out there again, this comes back to those that potentially provide the middle ground, kind of tactical HR I was talking about, which is for us our productivity booster. But they tend to do it on a retainer. So you get an HR consultant and they're great. They're personal, get personal support. It's someone who will potentially get a better relationship with your business, so they'll know you a bit more. You'll get flexible and cost-effective kind of routes and avenues, because they'll say to you, we'll put you on a retainer, and the retainer is going to be X amount per hour, and that's what we're going to charge you. We'll put you down for 3-4 hours. So, for us, our consultancy rates, which is, by the way, for all HR consultants, will be the most expensive rates you can think of, because you're going to get charged per hour to the nearest 15 minutes of use. So they tend to put you down for a retainer of like 3-4 hours. So for us, that'd be £300 to £400 before VAT per month that you're going to get charged. Whether you use it or whether you don't use it, you're going to get charged that as a retainer. As soon as you go above and beyond those 4 hours, 3-4 hours, you'll then start to incur further charges. So what you think is going to always be £300-400 every single month, one time you have a problem, it's likely to go potentially beyond the 3-4 hours. You're going to get hit with a major bill. And it's going to come out the blue, and it's going to completely sideline you. So like I said, the rates normally feature between £80 to £150 an hour. And daily rates tend to feature between £500 to £1,000 an hour. So again, our hourly rate is £100 an hour, and our daily rate is just under £900 a day. And again, we use those realistically mostly for project-based work, one-off bits of work, a one-off investigation, help and support on a redundancy project. When they don't want any other things, bits and pieces, which is completely fine. It's up to organizations what they want. That's when that's utilized. I would never want to utilize that as a framework to keep an organization tied to, so that whether I'm doing anything for you or not, I'm still getting paid £400. I just don't see the value. And that's a problem for me. So for me, I think the things you really want to look for in your business are going to be depending on where you are within your business. If you are time poor, you may be cash poor, but if you're time poor and that's causing significant problems in your organization, which, to be honest with you, the majority of clients that we talk to are time poor, have issues that are going on right now and need to have them fixed and get a better business. For them, these things are what really matters. It's personal service. It's someone you can build a relationship with, someone that understands your business, your teams, your goals, and it's not a stranger. It feels like an extension to your organization, pretty much. Flexibility that gives you support, that's going to be there when you need it, with a quick call, help on a project, a long-term process you're going to go through. That's what you want. They've got deep expertise, so they've been doing this for years. For example, I've been doing this in multiple industries for 20 years. And you want someone who's going to be able to give you confidence in the support that you're giving and getting you results. You want strategic insight. You want something that's going to not just be there when the shit hits the fan, but avoids the shit hitting the fan in the first place. Gives you better performing teams, gives you better outputs, more productivity, and more business-led driven decisions and data-led driven decisions in your business. And to be quite frank with you, not all products do that. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I will do that because I am going to do the self-preservation thing here, but that's why our productivity booster is quite unique. It's not an off-the-shelf package. It's garnered and tailored to you, your business. No business is the same. And it drives that strategic insight in your business, helping you to build high-performing teams, high levels of output, a culture that keeps and retains the good people whilst managing and helping to support to manage out the ones that are actually holding you back and you're not getting the value for money. It also, again, leading on to that, gives value for money. You're not just paying into an insurance product. It's not just an insurance process. It's not just something that you hope never to hear from, like with a car insurance. I hope never to contact my life insurance. For God's sake, I want to live, right? It's there. I want it to be there to support my family and my children, but I hope never to have to use it, right? It's the same with car insurance. That shouldn't be the case with your HR. You should be wanting to use your HR to increase it and have a better business. It should be giving you value for money. And quite frankly, a lot of products out there and a lot of practitioners and businesses don't do that. So be careful what you're looking for there. And what you need to do next, quite frankly, is take that away and consider where you are. What is the best option for you right now? If you are cash poor, and therefore you need a quick win and support, you can always tailor up at other points in time. So things like our HR helpline would be great for you. If you need more intensive support and you want to get better performance and better outputs within your organization and better teams in your business, then the productivity booster is going to be the better option for you. If you're looking at taking your business to a much better and next level and really upgrade that, then that's where you need that strategical partnership approach and to go through that. Now, look, again, I'm an HR consultancy company. I would always say that obviously, working with us is going to help and support you. You don't have to use us if you don't want to. But what I will say to you is a free initial call costs nothing. And the way that we work is there's no fluff, no bullshit. I want to try and help and support you with the problem you're having right now. So after a call with me, I would hope you'd at least have your eyes open as to what the problems are, the ways to be able to solve that, and what your next options could be. And I want to be open and honest about that. That's one of our core values. And if you choose to work with us, then great, and that's fantastic. But it costs nothing to have a chat and a cup of coffee. And for me, it'll always be the coffee or maybe squash. But that's the way it's going to be. So I hope this has been helpful. Take the guide that we've given, so the employer's guide that you have, work your way through that and have a look. It's not going to be heavy reading, by the way. This is not something thrown to you that's going to take you an hour to read through. This is brief reading, but equally, we've got the HR buyer's guide that's going to be there to help and support you. Please take advantage of the free recruitment audit, because that can really be quite helpful. And it'd be great to see you. By the way, once you do that as well, and from being here, you're going to get access to all of the other stuff that we provide and information, helpful tidbits earlier than anywhere else. So this is the route to go. This is the fantastic way to be. And I hope you enjoy this, and I hope this helps. Thanks.